once again, we have some absolute nonsense that is being spouted by another Hollywood elite, an actress who, of course, is an Oscar-winning actress who thinks women are a risk in Hollywood. So this is an absolutely insane story that we're going to be jumping into to see what Jodie Foster has to say. So let's see what she has to say about women in Hollywood. Now, there's just a lot of ridiculous stuff here. It's very, very laughable, but what can we expect coming from people who are part of the Hollywood elite crowd? Make no mistake, this writer loves Jodie Foster, the actress and director. She's brilliant in so many of her roles, starting out as a child and Taxi Driver through her Oscar-winning performances in The Accused and Silence of the Lambs, which she had some very sus things that she said in the past about Taxi Driver that definitely made me raise my eyebrows with some of the stuff that she was saying, her being a child actress and her working with, you know, old men and everything else, which I thought was alarming, to say the least. And even in many of the films she directed, such as her directorial debut in the underrated movie Little Man Tate, Foster is Hollywood royalty, which I don't give a crap about Hollywood royalty, and she deserves every bit of that for her talent. So why, we must ask ourselves, is she still pretending that women are marginalized victims in Hollywood in 2024, which is of course just the name of the game for so many people. They have to play the victim somehow because that's just what Hollywood does, right? Like so many of these people who have any sort of boxes that they can check off when it comes to diversity quotas, they will use that to their advantage in any way that they can. So Jodie Foster says the $1.4 billion success of Barbie has changed everything in Hollywood. In the old days, they saw women as a risk. Huh? That thinking has changed now. With a big success like Barbie, they gave Greta Gerwig the keys to the kingdom and said, we're going to give you our most important child and all the money to support it. That's new for women. I hope that continues. And once again, this is just the same type of nonsense that we've heard time and time again, where we have a female in Hollywood who is successful, and then suddenly she's treated as like the first, when that is just simply not the case. This is just a slap in the face to so many other people in Hollywood, especially women in Hollywood who were successful before Barbie even came out. You know, we had like one woman that came out just a few years ago that was a huge success that made gobs and gobs of money. So already right there, you can completely throw out this entire narrative. But apparently all of that never existed, according to Jodie Foster, which is just silly in so many different ways. So, okay, so this is what she said. I've had the beauty of being able to be in the business since the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and so on. I can literally think of examples from all those different eras of women who were successful in Hollywood. The progression or bettering of our audiences translates into a new kind of new thinking about who our marginalized voices are. In the old days, they saw women as a risk. Not sure why they saw us as a risk. Now you have actors that won't even like talk to women in some cases. People like Henry Cavill, who of course has offended many a lady in Hollywood because he wouldn't interact with her in certain ways or be like in these certain situations that could set him up as being Me Too'd, which I totally understand. So it's interesting that we are now living in this time where women are ironically kind of a risk in different ways, which is kind of hilarious. But wait a tick, did she actually just say bettering of our audiences? Good Lord, the smug superiority complex is so very real. So apparently she thinks that we are now living in this age of great awakening where people are starting to suddenly appreciate women in cinema, when that literally has been a thing for decades at this point, and it's so stupid. People don't really care if it's a man or a woman. People just want a good story. People just want a good movie to watch. You know what I mean? Like, that is what it boils down to at the end of the day. In short, Jodie Foster, the only place women are seen as a risk in Hollywood, especially over the 40 years, is in your brain, which is of course the case with so many of these different celebrities. No one saw women as a risk. Why was Aliens made if women were a risk? What about Bring It On, Mean Girls, Bridesmaids, Thelma and Louise, Girl Interrupted, Erin Brockovich, Clueless, 9 to 5, A League of Their Own, Now and Then, Steel Magnolias, Practical Magic, and it could go on and on and on. I swear these people think it's perpetually 1970. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. What do you think about what Jodie Foster says here? It's absolutely ridiculous and possibly one of the dumbest things she's ever said. But hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you all in another video very soon.